You boys got blue water fishing, here we go. Get your cameras ready. We're gonna do it again. He's right here.
Over here, boys. Blue marlin, blue marlin, blue marlin.
Oh, yeah, baby. Great teaser. Bring on it.
You can tell that these marlin are angry. They want to kill and stun everything that they see.
Let's go. Double header, we got one. Let's get the other. Woo!
Well, this segment brought to you by Salt Life. Peter, it's only befitting. We're talking about the Salt Life Bluewater Tournament. Going to be next week at St. Augustine, Florida. I got to sit down with the tournament director just a while ago. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Zoom call with Scott Stanley from the Sport Fishing Championship, second stop of the year, the Bluewater Tournament brought to you by Salt Life. Scott, you've been doing this tournament for quite a while, but this tournament's been around a long time, 50-plus years.
Yes. Yeah, it's a big event here in St. Augustine. I mean, this time of year, the bill fishing's good. The mahi bite has been incredible so far this year. And you know what it's really turned into? It's always been somewhat of a family affair. So now we have as many center consoles as we have sport fish boats. So the competition is, these sport fish guys are getting a run for their money with these center consoles.
And these center console guys are talented. I saw a lot of great anglers last year. We're catching some championship type fish, a lot of mahi brought in last year. But, with the Sport Fishing Championship, our main goal is to try and find those billfish, blue marlin, white marlin, sails. They're all out there, but sometimes it's harder to catch than others. And I'm here to let the rest of the world in on it. You've got a mahi tournament going on right now, but I already saw sailfish being caught. I saw a blue marlin being caught. It's not hard to catch them right now. We needed to hold on for another week.
No, so it's interesting. This time of year, most of the boats are mahi fishing. The blue marlin and the sailfish are the bycatch. I mean, think about that. We had last line coming in day before yesterday, just about to hang it up. Sailfish bite, boom. And 15 minutes before that, we saw a blue marlin just busting the crap out of a school of small mahi. So this is when they're here. This is when they bite.
That is awesome. And I know they make a decent run out there. And what I know from looking at some of the footage, what was the boat, Creeder Fish on their boat? They're out there trying to catch mahi. These are downsized baits. This was a small little chuggerhead sticking out of that blue marlin's mouth. And they were talking about, hey, should we pop it off? And like, no, let's get into the board and look at this underwater footage. I mean, it's fun out there. I mean, you got to get that one to the boat, don't you?
Yeah, well, and until you've caught a 2, 3, 4, 500-pound blue marlin on a 20, on a TLD 20, or those similar type reels, it takes everybody working together. You got to get the lines cleared quick. You got to get the boat turning that direction. You got a light drag. So what you're hoping for is he's going to wear himself out before he goes deep. Because if he goes deep, what these guys don't like is I don't want to burn 2 hours on a blue marlin when I'm in a mahi tournament. We got to get this thing out.
As far as the boat numbers, I hear there's more guys, more teams competing this coming year. We love seeing the higher numbers and more popularity, and the fish being prevalent is going to bring in more numbers as well. If they hear that a lot of fish are being caught, you might get a couple of add-ons here in the final days.
Oh yeah, no, we expect this to be one of our largest in the last 20 years. So we are running. This is part of a larger tournament that we run from the Northeast Florida Marlin Association. So they're fishing for 50 grand. This is one of 4 or 5 tournaments that if you're a member and you fish and you score in those tournaments, at the end of the year, it's 50 grand win you take all. So not only are they fishing for the SFC money, they're fishing for their points for that overall 50 grand for them for the year.
Right. We want to point that out. Everybody that's fishing in the SFC or now part of the SFCAA, they're eligible for that championship fish at the end of the year. So if you're out there trying to catch blues and you get the biggest mahi of the year, you will get that 50K. So a lot of money is going to be on the line. More boats. Anything else special? What's the weather forecast supposed to be this next week? Or do you even look that far ahead?
Yeah, so we're looking. It's a little too early to look. It looks reasonable. The beauty of it is they can pick 2 of 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if for some reason one of those days or 2 of those days get completely blown out, we'll put Sunday in as an option.
Okay, so there's going to be some options out there, and you pick and choose which days you want. Hey, Scott, thanks for being a part of the Sport Fishing Championship once again, the Northeast Florida Marlin Association. It's going to be good. I've got a really good feeling about this. I think the guesswork's going to be out of it, and the fishing is going to be very prevalent.
it's been great this week. So let's hope. I was there yesterday. They were all over.
So Scott with some good info to dial in right there. I mean, I think it's going to be fun next week. I mean, it's just a few days away and we're going to be kicking off our second event.
Yeah, I like his energy level, and I like the fact that the young guns are coming in, and there's also smaller boats going out, and they're going a lot faster than some of these big sport fish boats. They're a little more aggressive at times, and with the advent of these boom poles by a company called Gemlux, they have teasers, they've got dredges. They can do whatever the big boats are doing, and they can do it at a rapid fashion. However, the big boats have a really nice wake, and they have a nice hum to the acoustics under the boat, so it's very different, less white water behind those boats. So it's a give and take, but it's exciting to hear that the little boats and the big boats are in there. It's been going for 50 years. It's family friendly. 52, yeah. It's family friendly, and obviously the fish are biting.
Yeah, no, that was good. And we saw a lot of those center consoles. That's what you would probably do, right? I mean, your investment would be out there getting as fast as you can to those areas and targeting those fish. But the thing that he talked about most was there are fish. You know, how oftentimes you go like, I hope they're coming through now because they're working their way up the coast. They're here right now.
Oh yeah, this is a great time of year on the east coast of the east coast of Florida, because we've got the bait schools coming down from the north and everything's following them. Like for instance, off the coast of Fort Lauderdale, you're going to have bluefin tuna coming through right now, which is very rare. People are getting bites from blue marlin, which is also rare, and they're seeing white marlin. They're seeing all kinds of different things that we normally don't see. It's mainly a sailfish type thing.
Right.
Now up the way there's a lot of marlin being caught. It's a very fertile area. There's a lot of bait, so there's no telling what's going to happen, but it sounds like things are going good already.
Well, that's a perfect scenario for us, too, because we're in the Gulf this week working our way in the Atlantic. But as we work up the Atlantic, those fish work up the Atlantic through the Carolinas. We'll get into Montauk later, the OBBC. So we hope they just keep working in there and maybe a little closer to shore than they've been in some years, so we don't have some of those restrictions. Also, one thing that he was talking about pointing out was those mahi, how he saw blue and it just slapped the bay. That was kind of how it happened for you.
Yeah,
when you were younger.
but way back in like 1990, I was out there fishing, catching some mahi, and I put 2 mahi out for bait, and I saw this blue marlin come up, and he starts like terrorizing the mahi. And what they do is they actually sky out and they land on the mahi to stun it, or they'll just come in and whack one,
right,
and that fish like falls to the wayside and they'll eat that fish. So anytime you have a school of mahi around, there's going to be marlin somewhere looking up, looking side, but a lot of times you're going to have marlin nearby. In that particular instance, I had 2 mahis out for bait, and I saw the marlin come up to the boat, and the mahi actually hid under my boat while I had the boat in gear. 50 mahi went under my boat, and I had to look over the side of my boat to see the tails of the mahi just fluttering like this, and the marlin's looking, going, who's first?
Buffet.
Who's first?
Great story. Again, he's Peter, I'm Robbie, and a little insight on the Northeast Florida Marlin Association and the second event of the year, the Sport Fishing Championship, brought to you by Salt Life, the Blue Water Tournament.
That doesn't make you excited. You need to go take up golf or something else.